When do you first remember gangs in your area of Compton?
Like I say, man, we moved to Compton in 1968. It wasn't no Crips out, for sure.
Kev Mac video, you know, this is for sure. Kev Mac video, open your soul, represent your ghetto, baby.
What I remember, because I played sports, so you go all of these various parks and play. Looters, West, Gonzalez, Wilson, Kelly, depending on the facility, if they got gym, football field, baseball diamonds or whatever. Campanella Parks. You go to all these, Mona's. You go to all of these parks and play sports. And I remember Park Boys, for sure. Guys calling themselves Park Boys. I remember the car clubs. And I don't remember Wilson Park for being Park Boys. I remember a crew of guys, they called themselves Boulevard Hustlers. Them dudes. And I don't remember the businessman's right off the bat. Now, maybe a year or two later is when I remember the businessman.
When did you first find out about the Crips?
Now, when I first noticed the Crips was around, like I said, around 1970 when we visited LA. Watts, and certain areas, we had relatives on the west side of LA. I can't remember these areas right off bat, but that's when I had noticed the Crips. But as far as like in Compton, I heard of the Grandy Crips in that section, because the simple fact I had some cousins lived on Central between Caldwell and Greenleaf, a couple houses down from the cemetery. And they went to Walton and grew up in that area. And that's how I knew of the dances being at the St. Albert Catholic School over there by Vanguard Junior High or something over there by Lantana West Park area over there. Then the West Side Power Rules on the other side of it. That's how I knew about that. Now, as far as my own section, well, by that time I'm the owner of the businessman because I was playing Little League Baseball. And I knew of the businessman down in Norwood in there. Now, as far as like in my area, I remember the Crips coming around 71. Could be late 71, but I remember around 71. Definitely early 72. Me.
Killer Wayne and Killer Bray. Who else?
I remember the Midtown Crips, and I remember when Oaks Park, businessman was no longer just businessman when they became Crips. I was at Oaks Park for practice when I seen the meeting with Donald Norwood and the businessmans in the East Side Ludus Park Power Rules. I was at practice when I seen that.
Did you know Head Honcho and Melvin Thomas?
You say who now?
Melvin Thomas, Mac Thomas' brother.
Now here's the thing. Back when you was doing the magazine, and I ended up calling my cousins, to clarify some shit, get some information from them. When I was talking to my cousin, that's what he told me. He said, Sag, when you was seeing us, he said, Mac and them was there. He was telling me who was all there with him. He even brought Raymond name up a few times. He said, that's who now Arthur Day I recognized way back then. I did recognize him because, just something about Arthur. He, like I said, I used to be in the comic books and, most of the characters in the comic books, they was built and, and that's what impressed me the most about the Crips, how it looked like all of them was in the working out, lifting weights, They all looked like they, was in shape, mainly, is what I could say. And like I said, if you seen 100 Crips, 80 of them looked like they was, them motherfucking, whoever the 300 dudes were, the Spartan dudes, when you see 100 Crips, you see like 80 of them that look like them dudes. They built like ready to get down, cuz, and that's what got my attention about them the most. Yeah, had a few tall, skinny dudes, fat dudes, slim guys, but most of them seemed like they was lifting weights, and that was the case. Cause like in Killer Wayne's backyard, he had a bench back there. He had weights, and when we was hanging out in Wayne's backyard, that's what we was doing. We was all lifting weight. Wayne had a speed bag hanging back there, and he had the heavy bag. So we lifting weights and back there going toe to toe and shit like that back in the day, get your fight skills up.
So physically, Crips was more distinguishable than, say, Bloods or Pyro?
What you mean, physically? Like, I say as a group, the majority of them was, yeah.
All right, so did you ever hang out at Carver Park as a kid?
Not as a kid, no.
Was you hearing about Carver Park cripping?
Yes, I have.
You never went to swim up there?
No, I never swam in the pool, no, but I've been in the park.
All right. Too far away from Santana Hood?
Yeah.
For a kid?
Yeah, for a kid, yeah. Exactly.
All right. So tell me about all these different streets in Midtown, Rose Street, Willow. When did Willow get popping?
Like I told you, it had to be around late 71, early 72, when I remember Midtown.
All right. What about the Willow Street, Compton Barrio?
That was after I left. See, I had a discussion with the Mexican homies in regards to their affiliation with Santana. Oh, they come through Juju. The Mexican homie Juju was a real trooper, man. Love you, Juju. Yeah. I know a lot of people hear about Pete and speak about Pete, but we got plenty of Brown brothers. That's why, I hold a great deal of respect for the Brown. And shit, rather they with us or doing their own thing. But we had a bunch of them, bro. It just through Juju. We probably went to like a good 7 to 10 Brown homies through Juju. Next thing you know, man, we probably up to 40 or 50 in a short span, and then they was clicking up with them with Vadio Paragons at the time. But yeah, true enough, they were Santanas, but they were still banging on the Vadios and other Brown gangs in Compton, and one time something went down with them in Largo. And Big Ditto from Largo 36, rest in peace, he pulled up on me. And we had a discussion, about the Brown brothers. And he made sense with it. I've been through youth authority. I've seen the division, with us, when we incarcerated and stuff like that. So I knew what he was speaking on. He was saying how they could get away with it maybe in juvenile halls and stuff. He said, well, once they hit these county jails, these penitentiaries, they ain't gonna be able to do that. I say, I understand. So I go around there and have a talk with them all about them doing that. You know, and I expressed to them, I was like, maybe y'all, you know, should be like Compton Video Widow Streets or something. You know, I said, because I said, I heard with CB3, you know, back in the day, and we was down with the Threads, you know, the Compton Video Threads, we was. So, you know, I was saying, we was like cool with them, you know, y'all can be something, but they were still pushing Crip though, you know. They didn't jump off of it like that right away. But after them riots and all them other incidents, things had changed. And they became Compton Video Widow Street.
Juju got deported.
Yeah, Juju in Mexico.
Yeah, he's still living. I remember I talked to him.
He hollered at me on Facebook.
Send mine to Juju.
I will.
Oh man, so did Oaks Park side have any brown dudes? Any Mexicans from Oaks Park side?
I remember what the white boy, white boy Bill, the other white boy. You had a couple white boys in Oaks Park. You talking about before Santana stuff though, right?
Yeah. Or even like when the merger
I don't know of too many Mexicans like that over there.
Oh.
Yeah. Not then. And like I say, the Mexicans were a few. It was mainly black people like moving in. But you start getting Mexican people in around, you know, in my area. We had a few there, but not. We had Tootie and them on Spring. We had Rudy and them on Santa Fe. We had a few, but we was the majority. You see what I'm getting at? We had a few. My dad had a back house, and he rented it out to Mexicans since day one when we was there in '68. He rented it out to the Ramos, Eddie Ramos, Ralph Ramos. Eddie Ramos was CB3, Eddie Boy, and his brother Ralph. Rented out to them. After them, my daddy rented it to Louise. I can't think of Louise, but that's his son on my tombstone, Little Louise. He got killed on Spring. My daddy rented to them. So, you know, I down there joined the CV Threads before I got initiated into Midtown. Because I used to hang around them sometimes too.